So we start off with a really interesting math problem not math problem, well, it is math oriented, but an interesting programming problem that I got from school, and I was really interested in it because at first I thought, wow, this is going to be simple, until I realized, wow, this is not as simple as I thought. And you see here, this is where flowcharts, because flowcharts are very useful for code. Like, I'm serious. If you want to be able to code, I suggest you learn how to make proper flowcharts. Because the flowcharts helped me greatly here. So let me explain to you how this method works, because it uses recursion. So basically, whatever is passed in here, this is int n. Basically, it takes whatever variable you pass in. If you pass in, for instance, 5, which is what is passed in for this question, basically what it does is it uses 5. It tests to see if 5 is equal to 0, 1, or 2. If it is equal to any of these, it will return 0, 1, or 2. If it is not equal to 0, 1, or 2, if it's not 2 or less, it will go to this method. Now you see here, since it uses recursion, it splits into 3 sub-methods, because you see you have to do this method, and then this method. And whenever these methods are finished, it returns that value. Alright, makes sense? Okay, so with that being said, let's start off with the main method. This will be presented in the box. This is the very start of everything. This is the main method. Everything takes part in here. And you see, since this is the main method right here, and it passes in 5, that means the starting value of main, whatever's passed in this parameter right here, is 5. Okay, this is the starting parameter. Now, if you remember what I said, if it is 2 or less, it does not have to split into subclasses, since it returns a simple 0, 1, or 2. However, in this situation, it is greater than 2, meaning it has to split into submethods. So what happens here is it creates submethods because of recursion. So you see here, these feed in. So these are submethods. I'm going to name this S. Name this S as well. Name this S as well. So, with that being said, whenever it happens, it will do these 3 methods right here, these 3 instances of recursion. Now you see, the first instance of recursion has it pass in the parameters n minus 1, which means it is 5 minus 1, which is 4. Meaning this starting method right here will have 4 in the n place instead of 5. So that means the starting variable, starting integer for s, number 1, is 4. Meaning since this is minus 2, it will be 3, and this will be 2. Alright? So now, with 4 is greater than 2, meaning this method right here will split into submethods. So let's do this. Alright, there we go. Basically, all of these will be feeding into this one right here. Go here and boom, there you go. Okay, so everything will feed into here. With that being said, since the value is 4, that means in this submethod right here, it will be 4 minus 1 is 3. So this one will have 3. So this will start with 3. This will start with 2. And this will start with 1. Alright. Now if you notice here, at 3 here in this submethod, it is bigger than 2. It is greater than 2. Meaning this will also break out into submethods because of recursion. So here you go. Alright, so it goes to feeding into that, feeds into that, feeds into that, alright? And you see here, since again, it is 3 minus 1 is 2, so this one will start off with 2, 1, and 0. Alright, now you see here, we do not have to break off into any more submethods anymore, because 2 is less than or equal to 2. And the same with 1 and 0. Now you see here, basically what's happening here is in this instance of the submethods, it is returning 2 plus 1 plus 0. meaning these are returned up to here. All right. So basically what happens, oh god, this is what happens here, is you go up here, and it is 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, meaning it will return 3. So for this instance, in this sub method, it starts off with 3 plus. All right, now we go to 2. Now the magical thing about 2 here is that it is less than or equal to 2, meaning all it has to do is just return 2. So 3 plus 2 plus 1, because remember, it's 1 is less than or equal to 2. In that instance, that means it returns 1. So 3 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 6, right? Yep, 6. So that means this right here feeds into the main method, and it is 6 plus. All right. Basically what just happened here, to visualize, we are still in this right here. However, in the main method, it's less. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So you go down here. So basically we continue this again. However, 4 is greater than all these, so it does 4 minus 1 is 3. So it does this again and goes down. However, 3 is greater than 2, so it does 3 minus 1 is 2. So it does this again. In this instance, it's all good. So it returns that, and then it does this, and then does this, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully you're catching on here, because it's a little complicated. Hopefully once I'm finished with the flow chart, it makes more sense. So now we break to this sub method, which is 3. Now you see, 3 is greater than 2, meaning it needs to break off into sub methods once again. So 1, 2, 3. All right. And this will feed into here, here, and here. All right. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So this starts off with 2, 1, and 0. Now remember, 2 is not greater than 2, so that does not have to break off into submethods anymore. So this returns 2 plus 1 plus 0 is equal to 3, meaning this will return 3. So 6 plus 3 plus. All right, now we go to this very last one. Oh god, that is not what I want to do. Okay, now you see the magical thing about this submethod is that it is already 2, meaning it does not have to break off into more submethods. So it just returns 2. In this instance, we have 6 plus 3 plus 2 is equal to 11. And that is what it would return. This method right here, if you pass in 5, would return 11. There you go. And this is the flowchart.